This man here killed his wife and two kids in the United States in 2018, all because of his lover. Shannon Watts, a 34 years old woman who was 15 weeks pregnant, wasn't picking her call and missed a doctor appointment. So her friend Nicole drove to her house to find out what was wrong with her. When she came, she found out that the door was locked. Her car was still in the driveway. The kids were not at home and she wasn't at home too. They were nowhere to be found. So she called the police. When the police arrived, Chris, her husband, greeted them calmly, too calm. He told them his wife and kids went out and he didn't know where they were. But something seemed off about him. He wasn't frantic, crying, or pacing. He seemed so composed and rehearsed. The neighbor showed the police a security camera footage which shows Chris parking his car into the garage at 5 a.m. in the morning, something he never normally did. The neighbor told the police Chris wasn't acting right. Investigators pressed Chris to take a lie detector test, which he agreed to. Chris, sitting in the interrogation room with wires strapped to his chest, answered question after question. The wire sparked and he failed the test woefully. The FBI agent leaned towards him and said, "There is no reason you will fail this test if you are telling the truth." Chris finally broke. In his first story, which was a lie, he told investigators that Shannon was strangling the kids, and in range, he strangled and unalived her. But when investigators pressed harder, he finally confessed. He strangled Shannon in their bedroom while the kids were asleep down the hall, wrapped her body in sheets and loaded it to the back of his truck, and drove the kids alive with it to a remote oil site where he killed the kids and buried them in an oil tank and buried Shannon in a shallow grave. His motive was he was having an affair and he wanted to start a new life, which was a very stupid excuse because he could easily get a divorce and move on with it. When the truth came out, people were shocked. Chris always seemed like the perfect husband, always smiling in family photos, always holding his daughters close, always helping his pregnant wife. But behind the masks was a man willing to destroy it all for his selfish desires. In November 2018, Chris was sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. He will never walk free again.